morning, everyone. Nice to see so many of you here for our special Ohigan service. Ohigan, of course, is a Japanese word, and the actual word is Higan, which means other shore, other shore. So other shore is a metaphor for the world of truth or enlightenment, and we stand on this shore, the world of samsara or unenlightenment, and we have to cross over this river, body of water, to arrive at the other shore, the world of awakening. And so this is a metaphor. This is a metaphor for how we live as Buddhists. The most important thing is that we be on the journey, we be on the path. Buddhism is not about the arrival. Buddhism is about being on the path, the journey of life as a Buddhist. So today, I'd like to talk about the first of the 6 paramitas. The 6 paramitas are listed in your service book, actually, on page 6. I'd like to just take a quick look at it. So these are 6 Buddhist practices that help us to cross over to the other shore. First one is giving, or dana. Second one is discipline, or shila. Third one is patience, or shanti. Fourth one is endeavor, or virya. Fifth one is meditation, or dhyana. And the 6th one is wisdom, or prajna. And the thing is, in Buddhism, once prajna is kind of opened up, then you go back and you practice from dana again. So today I want to talk about dana, or giving. So actually there's 4 kinds of dana, 4 kinds of giving. I heard a funny story years ago. One of our Dharma school students, her name is Donna, D-O-N-N-A, and she was just a young girl, and I don't remember if it was myself or one of the ministers, we talked about Donna, the sermon was about Donna, and she went home and she's, oh, Sensei talked about me the whole sermon today. But this is D-A-N-A, Dana, or giving. So there's 4 kinds of dana. The first 2 kinds of dana I want to talk about are, there's material giving. Material giving, like giving a birthday present to someone, making a cake or something, like making something for someone. And there is non-material giving. So first let's talk about material giving. What is one of the best presents you've ever gotten? Some of you kids. You can raise your hand and holler it out. Best present you've ever gotten. Birthday, Christmas, could be any time. What's a favorite present that you've received over the years? Anybody have one? Yeah, right here. The boy here. Your birthday? So what did you get for your birthday? Oh, Legos. Wow, Legos. Legos, they're a good toy, right? Because you have to be creative. You know, you make something and then you take it apart. It's impermanence. Playing with your Legos is Buddhism, actually. Somebody else, what's a favorite present you've got? Favorite, oh, way in the back there. What did she say, someone? Oh, kitten, you got a kitty cat? Oh, that's a nice present, that's a nice present. The girl over here can't see, oh, there she is, right? Yes. Anyone? A sewing machine? Wow, what person learns sewing these days? That's wonderful. I can't even get my wife to hem my pants when I buy pants. Take it to the tailor. That's wonderful. Listen, can I get your name and phone number now? Next time I come into town, I might have a pair of pants for you to get. That's great. The boy there. $100 for your birthday. Wow, wow. Are you going to put it in the bank or are you going to spend it? Spend part of it maybe? Okay, that's a nice present. One more. Anybody else? Favorite present? Oh, okay, the girl over there. A scarf? That's nice. That's nice. Did someone make it for you? Did someone make it for you? Was it a handmade scarf? Oh, how nice. Okay, so that's material giving. Someone gives us a nice gift. $100, sewing machine, scarf, new pet. Then there's non-material giving. And that is something a little different. Offering a friendly smile to someone. Showing a friendly face. That's a way of non-material giving. And I'd like to tell a true story about a most unique person I happened to encounter many years ago when I was attending school at the Institute of Buddhist Studies in Berkeley. I moved from Oregon to Berkeley, and I rented an apartment in Oakland, and I drove every day to Berkeley, to school. And I looked on the map, okay, this is a good way to go. So I took this route, mostly on residential streets, to go to school in Berkeley. And I was driving along the street, and there was this man standing on the side of the street with this bright orange glove, and he's just standing there waving to the cars. And coming from Oregon, I thought, well, I saw a lot of strange things in Berkeley. So I thought, oh, this is another weirdo guy in Berkeley. I didn't think anything much of it. Next day, drive to school, same spot. There he is again. He's waving. Oh, there's that guy. Third day, there he is again. And I waved back. Every day that I drove to school, the man was there. It got to the point where I looked forward to hitting that spot on my way to school. You see, there he is. He stood there, he waved good morning to all the people driving by along his street. One day I didn't see him there. I thought, oh, I hope something didn't happen to him. And I looked at the house that he stood in front of. There in the second floor window, from the window he was waving like that. Oh, there he is. Maybe he had a cold that day or something. I came to find out years later, this man became famous. He was on, what's that show? CBS. He was on a TV show. I think Dan Rather hosted it. 60 Minutes. He was on 60 Minutes. He was given a special recognition by the city of Berkeley. I believe his name was, I think it was William Joseph. And he was called the Wailing Man of Berkeley. Wailing Man of Berkeley. I believe the last name was Joseph. Is that correct? And so, and I read about him in Time magazine many years later. And so this is a perfect example of non-material giving. Non-material giving. Offering a friendly smile, waving. That man did something like 30 years. He stood in front of his home, waving to all the people that drove by, waving good morning, bringing a little cheer to people. Okay, so that's the first two categories. Material giving, non-material giving. The next two categories are pure giving and impure giving. So pure giving is when the person who gives, they have no attachment to what they're giving. They have no attachment for any kind of recognition or acknowledgement or return. And they have no attachment to who they are giving to. So as you can imagine, it's pretty hard to do. It's pretty hard to really do pure giving. So the opposite, of course, impure giving, is to give, but you got an attachment to, you want some kind of recognition, at least a thank you card. You want some kind of, you're attached to the gift, what you're giving, and all of that. So it's easier to understand it in terms of impure giving. So let's say I make a donation to Sacramento Betsuin, and let's say I make a $100 donation. And then in the newsletter, it says, Reverend Harada, $10 donation to the Sacramento Betsuin. I'm going to tell someone, I think you got that wrong, you know. I think it was a $100 donation, and you only listed 10. If I had really given purely, then I shouldn't be concerned about that. But we're kind of attached. We go to a wedding, we give a gift, A month later, gee, I don't think I got a thank you card for that wedding gift I gave. I hope they liked it, I mean, gee, toaster, it's kind of a nice gift, But we're waiting for some kind of receipt or acknowledgement. But pure giving, the person has no attachment to recognition or the amount or anything. There's a wonderful story about the great Zen master. His name was Dogen. And at his temple, someone made a large donation, came and to see Dogen and said, hey, Dogen Sensei, I don't see my name anywhere up on the wall. I made a pretty large donation. Dogen, this is Zen now, very strict. We don't do this in Jodo Shinshu, by the way, but he says, get out of here. Then he said, that tatami mat that man sat on, that's defiled. Throw that tatami mat up. So they took out the tatami mat. Then he said, the boards on the floor underneath that tatami mat, that is defiled. Now take that out. So they took out the board. Then he said, the dirt beneath the floor that man sat at is defiled. Dig it up and take it out. He was so harsh because this man did not practice pure giving. I was the recipient of pure giving many years ago in Japan. I was studying for the ministry. My wife and I lived in a little tiny apartment, Japanese-style apartment. Our landlady was, it was like next to a little farm, and the landlady had a little, very, very, very small farm, and she lived there next to the apartment building. And when you had your whole 1 year kind of calendar rent, and January, February, March, April, each month had a square. When you paid your month's rent, then she put a little stamp. In Japanese, it's called hanko. She stamped, oh, paid. The Haradas have paid for January or whatever. So one day, she came to our apartment, and she said, she's so excited. And in Japanese, my Japanese English name, my English name is Marvin, but Japanese people call me Marvin. Marvin-san. She's so excited. She had the little rent card thing. She says, look, you're paid up for the rest of the year. What do you mean I'm paid up for the rest of the year? It's only June. And then she said, someone came and paid for your rent. What? So I'm talking to her. Who was it? And I'm thinking maybe one of my teachers at school. And then she said, oh no, I can't tell you. What do you mean you can't tell me? She said, I promised the individual I would never disclose who that person was. The person said, you have in your apartment a young man, he's studying to become a minister in America, he's going to be doing very important work, I want to help him out. So I want to pay for his rent the rest of the year. But please promise you will never disclose my identity. To this day, I still don't know who it was. Over 30 years later, 35 years later. I don't know who it was. I can't write a thank you note. And I often think of this person. I don't know if it was a man or a woman, if it was one of my teachers, if it was one of my classmates. I have no idea who it is. But I always think that person wanted me to be a minister and to do a good job here in America. And I often think of that person. Am I living up to the generosity of their pure Dharma? So I will never forget that individual. I don't even know who it is, but I was the recipient. I was a recipient of pure Dharma. It's very hard to practice pure Dharma, but it doesn't mean that we don't try. Reverend Kodani from the Senshin Temple, he has a wonderful line. He says, whenever I make an anonymous donation, I find that I'm the first one to tell someone about it. He said he made an anonymous donation to his temple, Senshin Temple, and then at the end of the month, the minister goes over all the donations with the treasurer, and the treasurer goes, "Hey, Reverend Kodani, we had kind of a large anonymous donation this month." And he said, "Well, don't tell anyone, but it was me, It's not an anonymous donation anymore." And then he goes, so it's hard to practice pure giving, but we still try. And we give. This is the first of the 6 paramitas. So it's one of the most important of the 6 paramitas. The statue of the Buddha is standing like this. Did you know the meaning of this? See, the Buddha's pointing to truth or enlightenment with his hand. And on the left hand, the Buddha is saying, "Please donate to Sacramento, Betsy." No, that's a joke. The Buddha is extending his hand out to reach all people, to bring them towards truth or enlightenment. But on the other hand, we cannot function without the generosity, the donations of everyone to support this temple. And part of your donation, part of your membership dues goes to the Church of America. And that supports the BCA headquarters, it supports the Institute of Buddhist Studies, it helps our national organization in reaching more people to share Shin Buddhism. So your Dharma, your donations in support of the temple is most important and most valuable. And I know you've created a wonderful legacy program here in which people can leave part of their estate or donate towards the future of this Sacramento Betsy. So today, I wanted to talk about the first of the 6 paramitas. I want to talk about dana, giving, and the 4 kinds of dana: material giving, non-material giving, pure giving, and impure giving. So we live a life of practicing and giving, but we find that in life we receive much more than we're able to give.